Hey everyone, this is Coach Dave, and I wanted to break down a rally that I had recently and go over a few key items that you can incorporate into your game. So why don't we go ahead and get into it? You'll see my partner serves it, I get the ball back, and now let's stop here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be hitting a third shot drive. What I'm aiming for is I'm looking to aim at the returner coming from the baseline to the net. I'm also looking to hit this ball middle. And I'm hitting the ball about 75% pace. I'm not hitting this ball as hard as I can. All I'm looking to do is I'm not trying to hit a passing shot winner. I'm trying to set myself up to have a shorter drop shot that I can do more with. And so once I hit this ball towards the middle, I'm anticipating that I'm going to get a shorter ball back. And that's what I get. That for me is a standard play. That opens up a lot of opportunities for us as the transitioning team or the serving team. Now you'll notice the gentleman on the right side of the screen, my opponent, notice where his feet positioning is. He's really hugging the middle. So I mentioned before that if I'm driving my third, I'm getting a shorter fifth shot, I can do more with it. So when I'm hitting the ball right here, I know that my opponent is hugging the line. And so what I decide to do is I'm going to hit this drop to my opponent's backhand, the one on the right side there with the gray shirt. And I'm trying to get him off the middle. The reason why I'm doing this is if I'm able to hit a good drop shot, get him to move off the center line, get him to move to the sideline, that could open up spacing for either myself or my partner. So let's roll it. He comes over, he takes a bunch of steps there, and you'll notice how he's facing away from the court. He's facing the fence. So he's really discombobulated right now. Of course, he recovers and does a okay shot, but this is a very tough shot for him. So he has to do a lot of movement, and he has to get behind the ball and do what he can. So the only thing he could do, which he does, is a nice reset. It wasn't a bad one, but my teammate recognizes that there's now space in the middle of between the two of them, and he attacks it. The other opponent of ours in the blue does step a little bit closer to the middle line, but he does not cover the gap, okay? So we're trying to cover the gap, not just the middle. That's very important. That's why you want to move with your partner, okay? Just because they move over to the sideline doesn't mean you stop at the center line. You have to close the middle gap, and that middle gap could mean that you're on your partner's side. This doesn't happen, so let's roll it. He hits a nice shot down the middle, and the gentleman in the blue has to lunge for it, can't get a good piece of the ball, and he hits it in the net. That is really good point construction and knowing where your opponents are and what you can do when they're moving. That's why the general lesson here is on the offensive side is get your opponents to move, especially if they're fading towards a certain side, either in the middle or hogging the sideline, whatever it might be, and you notice that their opponent is not moving with them, then that creates gaps, which are opportunities for offensive lanes. So I hope this video helps you to start to think about not just hitting the ball over the net, but think about where your opponents are positioned. Think about where you can place that ball to move them, and then how you can open up gaps yourself to hit winners. Thank you for watching.